You picked up your phone. Yeah, you didn't decide to. Now your thumb just moved. There was no reason, no notification, no buzz. On be yet here you are sitting, scrolling, refreshing, waiting for something that might not even come. It feels like a habit. It feels like a modern problem born from apps and algorithms on the 21st century. But the real answer is for stranger. This behavior is not new. It is not even close to new. It is 2 million years old and it kept your ancestors alive. Long before screens, your ancestors were foragers. Every single day, they face the same brutal question. Where is the food? Not is there food nearby? Where exactly is it? And is it worth the walk? A berry bush 10 minutes away might be picked clean. A watering hole 2 hours away might be full of fish. Nobody could know for certain. There was no map, there was no guarantee, there was only a decision made again and again under total uncertainty. This is called foraging behavior, and researchers who study it use something called optimal foraging theory. And it's a, say, a simple idea and decode it simply. Con, if you do not know exactly where the reward is made, but you know it's out there somewhere, your brain has to decide when to keep searching and when to give up and try elsewhere. Get this wrong too often and you are starved. Get it right and you survive long enough to pass on the exact instincts that got it right. Over course of millions of years, natural selection koi was not gentle about this. Nahe. It sharpened one specific skill inside you. Is nabatisi size skill of finding food, the skill of searching for anything uncertain. Now, like, here is where it gets strange. Your brain does not actually reward you for finding the food. Not primarily its sport. It rewards you for the search itself. In the 1990s, a neuroscientist named Wolfram Schultz ran an experiment that changed how we understand reward. He recorded dopamine neurons in monkeys while they waited for juice rewards after a signal. What he found surprised almost everyone in the field there. Dopamine did not spike most sharply when the juice arrived there. It spiked hardest in the moment right before his supine doneness the gap of not knowing. When the reward became predictable, the dopamine response actually faded. But the outcome was uncertain, when the monkey didn't know if the juice was coming this time, the dopamine surged and stayed elevated. Uncertainty itself, it turned out, is the trigger, not the reward, the maybe. Sit with that for a second. Your brain isn't built to reward you for getting what you want. It's built to reward you for not knowing whether you'll get it. This idea echoes something discovered decades earlier in a very different kind of lab. B.F. Skinner, working with pigeons in the 1950s, found something almost identical from a different angle. When pigeons received a reward every single time they pecked a lever, they eventually pecked it lazily, almost porte. But when Skinner changed the pattern, when the reward came at random, unpredictable intervals, the pigeons pecked harder, faster, more often each cab, and critically, they kept pecking even during long stretches with no reward at all. This is called a variable reinforcement schedule, and it produces the single strongest, most persistent behavior loop that has ever been recorded in a laboratory. Stronger than a guaranteed reward, stronger than no reward at all. The not knowing was the fuel. Your ancestors lived inside a variable reinforcement schedule every single day of their lives. The berry bush might be full, it might be empty, the hunt might succeed, it might not. There was no way to check in advance, so the ones who kept searching, who kept walking to the next ridge, who kept looking under one more rock apra, were the ones who occasionally found something, and their children inherited that same restless, uncertainty-seeking circuitry. The neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky Oscar Ye described dopamine less as a chemical of pleasure and more as a chemical of anticipation. Elia, fire strongest in the space between wanting and having. Not when you eat the food, but when you do